The road to French Lick starts now. I'm Ryan Ballengee with Golf News Net. Thank you for joining us for this first episode in a 10-event series where we will chronicle the 2024 Korn Ferry Tour season and the race for 30 PGA Tour cards, with the season-ending tournament happening at the French Lick Resort in French Lick, Indiana on the Dye course in the Korn Ferry Tour Championship presented by United Leasing and Finance. The 2024 Korn Ferry Tour schedule features 26 tournaments played in 6 different countries. After 2 events already in the Bahamas and 4 events after that in Latin America, the Korn Ferry Tour schedule has made its way back to the United States for the duration of the season. And the first event of the year in the United States was the Club Car Championship at the Landings Golf and Athletic Club near Savannah, Georgia, their Deer Creek course hosting the tournament once again this year. It was an exciting tournament, with Stephen Fisk birdieing 3 of the final 4 holes to get into a playoff with Rob Oppenheim on 14 under 274. And then in the extra session, Stephen Fisk wound up winning the tournament with a par on the first playoff hole at the par 5 18th, earning the win and $180,000 as well as 500 very important Korn Ferry Tour points. Let's hear now from our winner, Stephen Fisk.
I feel unbelievable. Such a long day that somehow went by really fast at the same time. To get my first win right here in Savannah, so close to where I went to school, is kind of crazy. I haven't had much success here in the past, but to get it done today is extra special, to be this close to what's kind of my adopted home. I feel like I gave the people what they wanted. Definitely could feel the crowd on my side, and I had a great group of people following me all week, and for them to come out and continue to support me is so special.
With his win in the Club Car Championship, Stephen Fisk moved up to 8th place in the Korn Ferry Tour standings, a very important landmark 7 events into the season, while playoff runner-up Rob Oppenheim is now in 14th position in the standings. We now take a look at the top 5 in the Korn Ferry Tour standings through 7 events on the schedule. Mason Anderson is in first place at 678 points. Kevin Velo is second at 642 points. Jeremy Paul at 573 points is in third place. Aldrich Potgieter is in 4th place at 561 points. And Brian Campbell is in 5th place at 549 points. We at Golf News Net are extremely proud to partner with the French Lick Resort on this show, The Road to French Lick, as the resort wants to tell the story of the Korn Ferry Tour season that ultimately winds up concluding on the Pete Dye course at French Lick Resort in French Lick, Indiana. Now we speak with our good friend and co-host for this season, Brendan Sweeney, to talk about the importance of this tournament for the Korn Ferry Tour, for French Lick Resort, and for the Southern Indiana community. Brendan Sweeney from the French Lick Resort joins us, and he's going to be one of my co-hosts throughout the course of the season, being on site at a number of tournaments on the Korn Ferry Tour schedule as they traverse the United States. But the season ends at your place, Brendan, the French Lick Resort on the Pete Dye course. Can you give us a sense of what hosting this tournament means to French Lick Resort, to the community, and to the charities that are going to benefit from it?
Well, thanks, Ryan. Really appreciate this opportunity. We're very proud of our golf history at French Lick, and this is just another chapter of where we're going. United Leasing and Financing is our presenting sponsor that will be here in October, and our charitable aspect is Golf Gives Back, which is huge for Central Indiana, benefiting the children of Southern Indiana, basically, of how golf actually helps them in a way. But having the Korn Ferry Championships has been a really blessing for us. It came up from Evansville, Indiana. It was at Victoria National for the past 12 years. And now we have a chance to host them for the next 5. So we're really looking forward to some great golf, not only at French Lick, but the road to get to French Lick. And with your series that you're putting on right now, we're really glad to partner with Golf News Net and to see how we run with it. So with that being said, we're looking forward to a great year, Ryan.
You mentioned the history of golf at the French Lick Resort. It is an incredible and steep history between the Dye course and the Ross course, celebrating the 100-year anniversary of Walter Hagen winning the PGA Championship on the Ross course, hosted the Senior LPGA Championship, the Senior PGA Championship, the LPGA Championship, most recently the Epson Tour, as well as the Big Ten Championship. So a big tradition of history at golf of the highest level here at French Lick Resort, and this continues that story.
Yes, golf has been around French Lick since the early 1900s. Our first golf course was built in 1901. And then since then, 1917, the Donald Ross course was put into play. 1924, we had our first major championship, which Walter Hagen won the PGA Championship. which oddly enough, or benefit in Southern Indiana and Northern Kentucky, the PGA Championship will be at Valhalla coming up in May. So we'll have a centennial anniversary with that. 59, 60 LPGA championships. And then in 2009, we opened up the Pete Dye Golf Course, and that opened up a whole new chapter of not only professional, but amateur golf as well, bringing it back to the Valley at French Lick. And this is just another way of showing how golf really can give back to the community, and how we could provide a venue that Pete Dye envisioned of championship golf. And I really think that the players in the Korn Ferry Tour are going to be pleasantly surprised on the amount of quality and the amount of just absolute wowness that the Pete Dye course has to offer. So we're really looking forward to it. And it's just going to be another year of just building upon, the championship in October. And then for 4 years after this, keep on going from there.
We're going to be showcasing the holes on the Pete Dye course throughout the course of our series. So not only to the viewers, but also maybe some of the players themselves who are competing in the tournament will have a better idea of what they're about to experience at the Dye course in October. One of the things I absolutely love about the Korn Ferry Tour is that you get to see players' dreams come true, whether that's the first time getting their card, whether that's their third or fourth time getting their card and they fought back to get it once again. What does that opportunity to get to host that kind of moment feel like for you and for French Lick?
Well, for us personally, it's a way to showcase the resort, and not only the resort, but Southern Indiana and the town of French Lick to the world. I mean, we have 4 days of broadcast at Golf Channel, along with the Peacock Network, and that really is a bonus for us. The great thing about having, you mentioned the Big Ten championships prior, so we had that in 12, 13, 14. We had the Big Ten championships, and then again in 2022. So you have a lot of the younger players that have actually participated in championships before, so they have a familiar aspect of the course. You look at a player like Brian Campbell from the University of Illinois. Their team actually won back in 12 and 13. So they have a grasp of what French Lick has to offer, and for them to take the experience away and tell the world about what kind of hospitality that we can provide. It's just going to make the product so much better, and it'll bring golfers from around the world more familiar with what we have to offer in French Lick.
Well, Brendan, thanks so much for spending some time with us. It's going to be a great season. We're looking forward to connecting on the road and spending some time together, getting to know these players and sharing those stories with folks watching on the road to French Lick. So thanks so much.
Thank you. We're looking forward to a great run. Thanks, Ryan.
On each episode of our series, we will feature 2 holes from the Korn Ferry Tour Championship host, the Pete Dye course at French Lick Resort in French Lick, Indiana. And this week, we kick off with the first 2 holes on the course, the lengthy par 4 first and the fascinating par 4 second. Now here's Will Haskett to take you through the first 2 holes.
Your journey around one of Pete Dye's greatest works begins here. This opening hole requires a right center tee shot just inside the 3 large fairway bunkers. Proper approach shot favors the right side of the green, where there is plenty of bailout area. Hole number 2 is one of the short par 4s on the course. It's lined with Pete Dye's volcano bunkers up the right-hand side. The fairway becomes very narrow at 300 yards from the black tees, but that does allow the long hitter the option to try and cut the corner, but at a risk of having an awkward lie and stance coming up for his short approach. Target again here at the second green is the right center of the putting surface.
The next event on the Korn Ferry Tour schedule is the Lecom Suncoast Classic, played in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, from April 18th to 21st. And in our next episode, we will share results from that tournament and so much more. Thanks so much for watching The Road to French Lick. I'm Ryan Ballengee. We will see you next time.